Hey guys, it is Lizzie, and let's talk Insurgent by Veronica Roth. And of course, it is the sequel to the amazing book, Divergent. And if you have not read them yet, I would recommend you start with the first one, which is Divergent by Veronica Roth. And it is a dystopian novel, which is like the Hunger Games. Hunger Games is dystopian, and it's typically about corrupt governments, typically in the future, and so this follows along, but it's very unique compared to the other dystopian novels I've read. So, I mean, it's like astonishingly amazing, so go read Divergent, and I guarantee you're going to want to read the next one, and that will be Insurgent. And it's a trilogy, so the third one should come out, I don't know when, but I would like it to be out, like, now. Of course it's not going to be. It's going to be, like, at least a year, but still, that ending, okay. Anyways, from this point on, if you have not read it yet, go check it out, buy it, I don't care, whatever you want to do, go do it, but this is going to be completely spoiler-filled from this point on, so, because it's kind of like my review of it, I guess, my opinions, and I'm going to warn you, there are going to be, I'm going to say some opinions that I've seen, especially on Tumblr, of other people, of other readers' opinions of Tris and things that went on with it, and I have my own opinions for that, of course, and I'm going to warn you, you may or may not like what I have to say, but deal with it. Okay, anyways, I suck at reviewing things, so I'm not going to review what happened. That's what Google's for, I guess, and the book. If you have the book, review it, you know what's going on here. Because I tried that, and I had to trash another video because I could not explain it. There's just too much going on. But anyways, so where it left off, they went to the Amity, the Amity compound headquarters, and gonna chill with the peaceful people. I guess hippies. We don't know. That's what they're referring to. But anyways, but I'm not saying that in a bad way, because if I was in the dystopian Chicago, which I love Chicago with all my heart, I would just like to state that. I love Chicago. I have family there. Chicago. Even before the novel and stuff. So the fact that it is placed in Chicago, like, totally just won me over even more. But anyways, if I was there, I probably would fit in Amity. I've seen a lot of people that said that too, and Dauntless, I see that those are. The one that I would like to live in is Dauntless, because I like the fun. Honestly, I feel like I'd be Divergent, but I'm pretty sure everyone's felt like that, because I kind of have little bits of everything, kind of. I think that's the point. But anyways, so Katniss cup. Okay, I'm done. But anyways, so they went to Amity. I thought it was totally hilarious. The peace serum part that made me so happy. Like, it was funny. It was really funny, and I liked that, and it was it was a perfect timing too, because everything was so serious, and we kind of just needed our Fortress feel kind of moment, and yes, of course, I ship Fortress. What I really love about the series is it's not a, a, I almost said a threesome, sorry, a love triangle thing, and because every single thing I've read lately is love triangles. Sometimes, honestly, I don't have a problem with it, because I get it, it adds more drama to it, more interesting stuff, but it just kind of shows how important Four and Tris are together. Tobias, honestly, I prefer Four, even though I know that's kind of like his persona, and I love the fact that Tris has seen the difference in Four and Tobias, because I think that's an important kind of conclusion to make out of it, is that Four is this tough guy she met. Like, he was awesome as Four. I love Four. But he's the dauntless kind of, Tobias. He's the Dauntless side of Tobias, the one that is after 16 Tobias. And the fact that Tobias brought her to his bedroom when they went to the abnegation, you know, headquarters, well, not headquarters, but I kind of get confused about that because they have kind of like a part of town, like their neighborhoods and stuff. Well, sort of, you know what I mean. So the abnegation section, and brought him to that. It kind of it was more personal, like, this is Tobias. And because she never really got to meet that kind of, because I love how they mentioned him, I think in the first chapter, Divergent, and you would have never thought that they would have brought it. I know, like, well, at least I've been, some people, I guess, kind of thought that through before, but I didn't. I don't know if it's because I'm blonde, but I would have never suspected him until I started thinking it through, when he started saying little things and things. I think I figured out he was in an abnegation. I would have never known he was Tobias. But anyways, so that was really cool. Kind of sets the whole tone between Four and Tobias, and that's a huge kind of point to make. I really loved this one because it's so different from the first one. The first one's about finding who you are, but now that she knows who she is, what's she gonna do with that? Because, you know, like, now it's in this world where it doesn't really matter who you are, because a lot of crap's going down, so not much time to figure that out, and so she's kind of losing herself. So she found herself, but yet she's losing herself, you know? Okay, here's one of the unpopular opinions. I do not think that Tris was stupid. And a lot of people said, oh my god, she was so stupid in Insurgent. I really don't think so, because you kind of have to understand that it's called this little thing called depression. And, and you know, some people might think it's, you know, just negativity and pessimistic, my blonde's getting to me, but, you know, pessimistic, and just being pessimistic and stuff, and, but, I mean, like, that's a whole different subject I won't even get to, but it's a mental illness, not like a bad thing, because it's, you know, not, like, crazy, you know, but it's just not really controllable, and so in her mind, she thought what she was doing was correct. And in some ways, it was still brave. Some people thought said she wasn't brave in it, but I totally disagree. Turning yourself into erudite, to her, that was completely a selfless thing. She thought, my parents died for me. I might as well die for all these different people, because, come on, guys, that she knew that she just saw Marlene go jump off a building and, you know, plummet to her death, and if Erudite's gonna do that, they're definitely gonna put someone else over, and, you know, who the hell knows what it is, or do something bad to Caleb, and, you know, at that point, she didn't know Caleb was a traitor, which I think, in a way, it's the same kind of situation where he's not really a traitor. Well, yeah, he's a traitor, but he's not really a traitor. He thinks he's doing the right thing because there's two different people. They're so different people. I think we'll figure out more about that in the next book. So I'm trying not to judge about that too much, and I'm just gonna, like, wait a little and kind of hope I don't know what I expect with that. But we'll see. I like Caleb, and I really don't want to have to see her lose her only family. But, anyways, so, obviously the erudite, cough cough, Janine, you know, Janine was obviously going to do something, anything, and that could just be really bad. Possibly, like, you know, the bitch is crazy. She's probably going to, like, she would, like, bomb the whole city, who knows. She would get Tris there anyways, and it would have caused even worse of a problem if she would have just took, you know, the rebel dauntless, the bad dauntless, would have took the bad dauntless and gone back to the dauntless headquarters and just kind of dragged her by her hair. Like, she would do that, and I think she knew that, and that would just kill more people. So I think that decision was justified. I think it was a bad decision to lie to Tobias like that and hurt him and stuff, but I think she kind of had to do it, because what else are you going to do? Like, she's completely selfless, and that was what she was taught, well, sorta, and she felt like if she had to die, she would rather die selfless than selfish and watch all those other people die for her. So I think it wasn't a stupid idea. But I mean, everyone has their own opinions, but, like, seeing people say that she was stupid, and I just don't like it, because, when you're depressed, it's like you want yourself to hurt. I don't think that was her case in that, but it's kind of just, it seems like a good decision in your mind, and, like, everyone else's opinions doesn't really matter, and you think you're actually doing a good thing for your loved ones. So that's what she thought. She thought, like, Tobias is Tobias. If I don't even think she thought about it, but if it happened to, I guess she thought he would move on, but, like, that's a whole different thing. I just don't think that she was very, stupid. I don't think she was all stupid. Some parts I was like, really? Let's think this through. But that's what I love about Tris and her character. I love how real she is. She does make stupid mistakes. She's not a superhero. Like, I think people need to step back and think, what the hell would you do if you were in her shoes? Like, I guess that's because I'm an actress, so I do that anyways. But take a step, look at the situation. If there were people jumping off buildings, left and right, plummeting to their deaths, plus a friend of yours who is totally awesome. I loved Marlene, and I don't know what, and I do think Marlene and Lynn, or at least Lynn had a thing for Marlene and stuff, and seeing Lynn die too, I was just like, everyone's dying and I hurt. Okay, but yeah, so think about that. Like, wouldn't you turn yourself into? I would be like, I would have turned myself in, like, from the beginning, but I think that's just because I'm a wimp. But, yeah, so I don't think she was stupid. Everyone says she was stupid. There were some things where I was like, yeah, but I loved how Tobias stood up to her and said he couldn't love the suicidal person, because I understand why she felt like she was suicidal. She, kind of thought of it like what happened to Al, and started thinking how she didn't feel like she had any purpose anymore either, because here she was, kind of losing everything about her. And once you lose yourself, you feel like you don't really have much worth. But she just couldn't really see beyond the grief, which this is the lesson of it. See beyond the grief, and that there is still, a better way to do things. And that's another reason I don't think she was stupid. That was for a reason, people, because Veronica is a freaking genius, and she was teaching us lessons, people. Like, it wasn't stupid. Everything's for a reason. But yeah, and then so plummeting to their death, like, a lot of stuff happened in this book. I thought she was brave, and I kind of wish she did things differently with the whole going. I mean, she went to Amity, and then I really even forgot what happened. Her and Christina did stuff with Marcus. I think not like that, but I think she should have maybe included Tobias, but I don't think Tobias would have let her anyways, and then I think Janine would be ruling, and who knows what would happen. And before long, if she didn't do that, I think Janine would have found a way to get a transmitter that does affect Divergent people. So I think that, I think it should have happened like that. And I'm not sure if I liked the ending at first, because the fact that Tobias and her just kind of like mended things, I was like, guys, you got some situations going on there. You guys need to talk some stuff out. But I mean, I love my fortress, so I'm okay with that. But I have a feeling that's going to lead to some stuff in the next book, and I have a feeling that I really don't think Janine and Marcus, they're seen as the antagonist, and like a lot of people are actually seen as the antagonist. But I really don't think that they're typically the antagonist of the whole series. Like, I personally think, in the end, the person I hate the most, and like indefinitely hate, and I can't find any part of my heart to accept this character, is Tobias's evil, a lot of words enter, a lot of words here, mom. I really don't like her. I have a feeling she's got some plans going on there. Well, we saw at the end, and I guess you could have seen that, but I understand Tobias's situation too, with the whole, you want to accept your family, and that's a whole different thing. Like, same with, Tris, the whole that, like, I guess, the Mortal Instruments does a lot about this, so if you've read that one by Cassandra Clare, that's a really good series too. But anyways, the whole thing about blood is not considerably family, and it's kind of like that, where you want to believe blood is family, and it messes with your brain, but it's not always true with other person. Miss Eden. Yeah, so, but I liked how Tobias handled a lot of stuff in the book. I think they all grow one step by at a time. You would never really realize, and this is a huge thing about the whole Four and Tobias thing, is that you would never realize when you met Four in the first book how terribly, I guess, broken inside he was, because his stupid parents messed the kid up. But I mean, that's why we love him, because he is who he is, and I love Tobias, and he's just a smart little cookie, and I understand why he had to like her. And, Tris's whole thing, what she said to Tris, I was like, man, if you were real, I would smack you for Tris. And, honestly, if Tris would smack you herself, but, but Tris needs to, it's funny because, the whole first book was, fears and stuff. It still is, fears, because of Dauntless, that kind of stuff. But in the second book, she has this huge fear of touching the gun because of Will, and I really like how it haunted her. Because in some books, like superhero books, or not superhero books, but comics and everything, they wouldn't even think twice. They would think, oh, well, they had to go, it happened, so they're gone. But that's why Tris is so real and such a good character, because she pondered on it and, felt so horribly bad with it. Of course, it caused a lot of problems, but I loved the scene where she just totally broke down to Tobias, and I was like, oh, there was a lot of good for Tris moments. Even the moments where they were fighting, like, especially when Tobias owned up to her, and said, I can't love you if you're going to be like this, and because someone that truly loves that person is going to do that, and, so high five, Tobias. And I really liked that, because it's a lot more about the whole character death, and it kind of continues from the first book to the second book, and I really liked that. And there's a lot I liked about it. I love this series, okay? I love this series. But, so a lot happened. There were some good moments, some bad moments. I totally understand why Christina was totally, mad. Well, not mad is an understatement at Tris. I would be. I think any rational human being would be. And and she predicted that was going to happen. Tris predicted it was going to happen. So, I mean, it's not a surprise. We all knew it was going to happen. Like, what's Christina going to do? And I remember after I finished the first book, I was like, well, is she alive? And that was a big problem too. I liked where they all ended up too, though. I do, however, think that Candor is big wimps. They need to own up to their crap. But anyways, it's this, still with the whole faction thing. They're not really violent, and that's what they believe. So what they kind of should have expected, that they weren't going to get any help from Candor, and they're just gonna. It's a lot about going on sides, because they're not selfless. They're not abnegation. Of course they're not going to help them. So it would make sense. And they're all about honesty. And I think that the, little honest chair, whatever happened there, was totally cruel. And I was so heartbroken by that scene. It was really heartbreaking, but it had to happen. And, poor Tobias. Oh, okay, but yeah, it's so heartbreaking. And everything, because now his little persona of 4 is gone, and I totally understand why he beat up that kid, I guess, but I think, I forgot what happened there, but I think I understand it. I think in the long run he had to do it, and Tris found that, realized that, but he could have gone smoother, and that's a whole nother thing about finding who you are and proving who you are. I don't even know if he had to prove himself, but he is 4, and that's a big thing to him. And people being, well, you know what, they deserve that, because they were being bullies, so they deserved what they get. You're gonna be mean to someone, you're gonna get bad consequences to you, so there. There were some really good themes in this. And what else? Good moments. Good friendship moments. I loved that scene with Christina and Tris, and where she just broke down to her, and because I love, even more than romance in books, honestly, I love it when there's really good friendships and friendship moments, because there's some books that don't really have that and just have romance and stuff, but a good book has both and shows that the romance is not the only important thing to it. And of course, I love the romance to it, but I'm pretty happy with the friendship thing too. That was a really awesome scene, and I've never seen a scene like that before with friends and stuff, so that was a really good thing. And I love Christina, and I'm actually surprised she wasn't more torn down. So, yeah. And a lot of crap went down. I don't really know how I feel about Will's sister. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about her. I thought the erudite kids were funny. That was a good scene, too. I liked how they showed more about the different factions, because in the first book, we only get a sense of Dauntless and Abnegation, and obviously we kind of favored them, because that's especially Dauntless, because that's Tris's side, that's what she goes to. So I really liked how she explored the other kind of, other factions, and shown that Erudite is not all bad. It's just Janine and, little minions, I don't know. But they're not all bad, and that they can be good. And some of them are, pure people at heart, and I liked seeing the differences in everyone, and the more you see more of the factions, the more you understand the whole concept of Divergent, and how different Tris and Tobias and Uriah are. And I was pretty shocked about Uriah. Some people said they saw that coming, but I did not. I love Uriah, and I feel so bad for him, because him and Marlene were so cute. Oh my god, the lunch scene, and so sad. But yeah. And so that made me sad. I was actually surprised he was more torn down too, but I kind of get it, because Uriah is Uriah, so yeah. And what else? I think I covered a lot of it. A lot happened, and it's interesting to see the different factions and what's going on there, and the fact that they might not be what they seem, like Amity, sorry. Like Amity and their bread, and little things like that. I actually suspected at first not the head, she's not a head, but of Amity I actually suspected at first that she was Tobias's mom. I don't really know why now, but I did, because I had a feeling that his mom was going to show up, and or something, and I just thought that was peculiar, her and Marcus's relationship thing. So I thought at first, but now I wish she was his mom, because his mom is So predictions for the next book. Lots of crap's going down, and it's gonna get real. The next one, not that it hasn't already. We're gonna see more about the faction list. I also liked that. I liked showing the faction list and seeing what happens if you aren't in a stabilized community, and how different Edward was. And I was expecting him to be this like gentleman, and kind of like, I didn't know he was like that in the first book. I thought he was a gentleman and all this stuff, but I guess you can be wrong about a character. And so that was interesting, and seeing how factionlessness can change someone. And that's another good lesson, which is kind of, I guess, ironic. Not, I don't know. But in Chicago, if you go there, there's a lot of homeless people, and so now the next time I go there, I'm going to think about that. And it really changes someone. But, you know, I don't know how I feel about the whole faction community, because it kind of brought Tris out of her comfort zone and seeing how it could be, you know. Everything she knows isn't what she really knows. And so it was interesting, and this is really long, and I apologize, but I had a lot of opinions, and I hope I covered everything I possibly could. And so in my conclusion, I don't think Tris was stupid. I actually thought she was pretty brave for most of it. Of course, I liked how she was depressed, because she should be. She is like totally, completely grief-stricken. She lost her whole family. That's another thing. The scene with Tobias and her, after she finds out that, after she comes back from the Erudite compound headquarters, and he says that he'll be her family now. Like, oh, my fortress feels. But so I loved that. There were some really good moments and some really bad moments, and I'm expecting it to just get even worse and better at the same time. So I'm excited for the next one, even though we have a long way to go. And even more, hopefully, you know, movie information will come soon, because there's a lot of rumors about everything, and so, because that's to be made into a movie at some point in time. And to see more about my Divergent side, I guess, and my acting side, and go check out Project Divergent, which is on my other channel, and I'll put the link somewhere here or in the description box down there. If you don't know what that is, go check out that channel and you'll see it. And yeah, and I apologize for not making a video for a while. I have been on vacation, if you can tell, and on the lake and stuff, and in the pool. If you can tell, I'm pretty tan, which is pretty good for me, because I never tan. And I've been chilling, and that's why my hair is all wavy, because of the pool. And so I just got home from vacation, and I have a lot more videos to come. I promise, I'm not just saying that. And I turned 16. My sweet 16 was 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago. And so I turned 16 July 1st, and so I'll make a video about my sweet 16 and my vacation and everything. So I'll see you guys later. And go read more Divergent, I don't know, go, because you've already read this. Okay. Go read stuff. Okay, bye. Ta-da. Ta-da.